Hi everyone. Since I know everyone doesn't have time to meet with me in Zoom, but if you do, please send me an email and I'm happy to schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting. I want to make sure that as we head into the second half of the semester, everyone is really clear on how the class needs to be conducted. Each week, a weekly announcement is posted on D2L. And I give you the structure of the class. So the assigned reading that should be done first, engaging with the lecture and supplemental materials, then watching the documentary, and then completing the assignments. I have a link to the ebook here, the assigned reading, the lecture, and the assigned film. And then it gives you the path that you need to follow. It says open the week 6 module by clicking on the content tab at the top of the D2L page. After reading the learning guide, access all of the tabs in the module in chronological order. Then it gives you the assignments and when they're due. As your instructor, I can track your progress on D2L. So if I see that you are not going into a weekly module and engaging with all of the tabs, specifically the lecture and supplemental materials and the support materials, then when I go to grade your discussion or I go to grade your paper, it's really challenging for me because it would be like you skipping class every week and never going to the lecture, but then turning in your assignments. So as we head into the second half of the semester, I just want to be really clear. Everyone needs to access every item in a weekly module in chronicle order before I can grade their assignments. We're in week 6. So we'll use week 6 as an example. I'm going to click on the learning guide at the top of the page. It's going to give you a lot of information about what we're doing this week, including the reading and the film. It's going to give you the learning objectives and then the outcomes. Using this arrow, the first time you get into a module, I suggest you use these arrows so that you don't skip anything. There is a checklist that you can use to check off your tasks for the week. And then here's where you'll find the lecture and the supplemental materials. You're going to get the lecture in two different formats. You're going to get it in a PDF format, and then you're going to get it in a video format, which is me narrating the PDF. You can choose to engage with both or either, but you need to engage with one at a minimum. And then the supplemental videos, which I host on YouTube, add a lot of context to the lecture. So you want to make sure that every week after you do your assigned reading, that you engage with the lecture and the supplemental materials. You need to do this before you watch the assigned film and before you submit your assignments. The instructions for the assignments live in the support materials tab. So this week we have the midterm opening, so there's a midterm study guide. Please make sure, and I will be monitoring your progress on D2L, that before you take the midterm, that you have accessed all of the lectures in weeks 1 through 6, because the lectures are where the information, obviously, in addition to the reading, come from that is on the midterm. I don't want you skipping the course content and then just taking the midterm. Information about the critical papers and then those writing prompts. So when I am opening your paper, this means that you have done the assigned reading, you've engaged with the lecture, you've watched the assigned documentary, and now you're ready to write your paper. The instructions for the paper are here, and then you will answer either one of the writing prompts. Directly address the writing prompt that you're answering in your introduction with your thesis so that I understand you are answering the question as posed, because the Common Course outcome and the rubric is designed for one of these two writing prompts only, not a topic that you create on your own. And then there's are some additional resources for the paper, my AI policy and how to disclose. And then the assignments tab where you can link directly to the film and the assignments of the week. For best practices, I have every single weekly module laid out in the same way. So when you're looking at the content of the course and it says to access the course content in chronological order, learning guide, checklist, lecture supplemental materials, support materials, and assignments. The only deviation from that in the weekly module is beginning in week 5. If you chose options 2 or 3 for a final project, you have resources there for you. If you are choosing no final project, then all you need to do from week to week is make sure that I would suggest strongly on Monday when the new materials are posted and when the new module opens that you get into the learning guide. Spend some time actually reading it so that you understand what the focus of the week is. And then the first time you engage with the module, use those toggle arrows that are at the top and the bottom of the D2L page so that you're engaging with all of the materials in chronological order at least once, and that you're doing this before you post a discussion or before you post a critical paper. I will be monitoring your progress on D2L just to make sure that you're conducting the class in the proper order. And if you have any questions about anything in this video, again, please just reach out to me through email and we can set up a Zoom meeting, or you can come and visit me in person if you happen to be near the Royal Oak campus, and we can talk about this face to face. I want to make sure that as we head into the second half of the semester, everyone is very clear about the expectations of the course, and you cannot skip to steps 3 and 4 before you've done steps 1 or 2. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your time.